Sky News is giving such informations regarding Australian migration that Australian citizens still are not happy. You know, in the last days, Australian citizens did a very intensive protest to reduce number of international migrants. And now they are also showing intention, and threat is that they may not start protest once again, but their numbers are at records level. Migrants numbers are at record level. Who is telling? Sky News getting data from Australian citizens who are not happy. They are telling we are hurting. This is the topic that Australian citizens say we are hurting. I think, and they are also telling that numbers of the migrants after protest did not decrease and still escalating and still at highest numbers at record levels. There are two angles of this news. Australian migration system may make more strict changes. You must be ready. If you are upcoming migrants, if you are planning to switch to Australia on student visa, on work permit or any other category, you must understand that Australia may plan to make more strict changes, especially in upcoming November immigration changes. And they actually will want to remove more numbers of immigrants. You will listen some deportations as well. You will listen some cancellation of the PR applications as well. Rejection of the PR applications will be at little higher rate as it was in the last years. So, but I personally analyze this news in the sense that Australian citizens are not getting one information that how much migrants are useful. This is not my analysis. Australian companies are giving a very good suggestion to immigration department, to the government, and they are writing letters and personally they are meeting. I already told one example, CEO, one construction company who is removing Australia from housing crisis and have agreement of making immense number of houses for Australia. You know, biggest problem due to which even migrations are being checked, protests are going on. The main reasons are housing sectors. And that CEO told Australian Migration Department, if I will not invite international people from overseas, workers, civil engineers, electricians, plumbers, and according to her, the most effective workers are overseas workers in our company, and we may not able to fulfill the targets. And housing sector is a very sensitive target now, because biggest issue of Australia, due to which migration is also suffering, and capping of Australian migration is due to housing crisis. I think they must be given such information on a top level. The Australian citizens, the media is there. Like if the Sky News is telling that Australian citizens are hurting, why Sky News is not telling that the stories of the migrants who are useful? Why Sky News is not telling the story of those doctors who are curing patients in Australian hospitals and they are migrants? And why the Sky News is not telling the story of this construction company who has agreement with the Australian government to fulfill the targets, millions of the houses they are going to make for Australia to fulfill the future requirements, and they need overseas workers? And why the media is not telling to the Australian citizens, not counseling? Counseling is very necessary. Now citizens have one point in the mind. I think this is also little bit marketing throughout the world in the minds of citizens, and they may be the right-handers, they may be the left-handers, but they have one insect or one agenda in the minds that migrants are not useful. Migrants are using our resources. Migrants are using their taxes. But they did not actually educated by any a party, by any top media, might be deliberately, that how much they are useful. If I will balance both angles, the angle of useful nature of migrants will be more. Why they are not discussing like that? So I think if Australia will keep downsizing the migrants, the useful migrants, I am not talking about those students who don't want to study and they are just going for work and they are not complying immigration laws. I am not talking about illegals. I am not talking about those workers who submitted fake professional certificates and they are not true professionals. I am not talking about useless migrants. I am not talking about those migrants who are changing their status and they are not true migrants. I am talking true migrants. And there are students who did masters and did PhD in Australian universities. They got top rank positions. If they will switch to US, if they will switch to UK, if they will switch to Canada, those countries will be superior professionally. Australia still in a competition with the developed countries as compared to the economy, as compared to the professional, and IT sector is growing. Artificial intelligence, another new field of software is coming, and therefore IT field is growing day by day. New evolutionary developments in the sciences, IT are coming. If the people will not move and will be demotivated and they will switch their aeroplanes to other countries, Australia, which is very developed just because of the migrants, citizens must be having informations about the useful nature. I am agreed there are mostly people who move from tertiary country to the primary country like Australia. The people are just using the visa categories like student, if they are not student, like work permit, they are not work professional, and they are submitting the false document, false information. I knew, but among them useful people are there. Useful immigrants are there, and they are examples. They are CEO of the companies, they are running the business, they are top health workers, they are top civil engineers, they developed new strategies, they are developed new ideas, their minds are immensely fertile. I think media should talk about useful immigrants as well. Thank you very much.